Hello, 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 and welcome to My Empty Hands, a podcast about the martial arts, typically focused on Kempo. As always, I am your host, Reggie Darden, and today I have got a special treat for the listeners here. I got a two mints in one, two guests with me today. So this is I think this is a first for the show here. So. Having all three of us here on the show. So I have Brittnay and Brandon Searles, and we are going to get into updates with them. I've had previously had them both on the show. So Brittnay, I believe it's been a little over a year or close to a year. I'll have to double check that. And Brandon, I believe it's been about 7 or 8 months, I think. So, um, yeah, I'm excited that y'all have agreed to be on, and we're gonna get updates on what you all have been up to, and also shamelessly self promote your line of sauces, hot sauces. So I'm excited to hear about that. But yeah, we'll just kind of go through and see what we got here. So I always start things off by just saying that I am super busy with training in 5 martial arts at this point: American Kempo, Capoeira, Hapkido, Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and Muay Thai. I also have some experience in Taekwondo and did a little boxing when I was in the army. So yeah, busy, and just having a lot of fun with the training and just going through all the good things that I do. So now let's get a update with the dynamic Kempo duo here, and fill us in on what you've been up to for the year. As we're recording, we're at the end of 2025. So what has 2025 and also 2024? What have you all been up to, and what's new in the world?
Well, so it's been, I think the last time we talked, Brandon and I were planning our wedding. So 2025 brought about, two seminars. One that we did in January for Scott Southwell with my father online, and then the other one, the Boston Tea Party with Tyler and Joe, and that was beautiful. Traveled to Boston to do that, and we got married in March, which was beautiful. Yeah, I'll let you tell the story about the katana sword and everything. I mean, I'm sure the Kempo community has seen it. I mean, it got over like 4,000 views online with Dad cutting the wedding cape with the katana that Brandon gave him. But
yeah, so
oh, nice,
there
nice,
were
nice.
there were a lot of martial artists at this wedding. I mean, like
oh yeah, it was
a lot of heat, and it was beautiful.
There's been less martial artists at a black belt test.
Yeah. In fact, both of our officiants, one was my Kempo sister, Alice, and one was your Kempo brother,
Yeah.
Sean. And so even the people that married us are martial artists as well.
There was even a belt promotion at the reception.
At the reception, there was.
I was just gonna ask. So did y'all give each other the kiss of the dragon? Y'all kick each other into wedded bliss? Or?
So we had a theme of recognizing the two families coming together, and we wanted to honor our parents, and so we did this by surprising them, presenting gifts to them at the beginning of the ceremonies. And so we presented necklaces to the mothers, and the meaning behind it, and some of the jewelry that was used had been previous stones, previous gold. So incorporating legacy, right? The theme of legacy. And then with the fathers, there was a compass for my biological father, and then for her, my stepfather, who more so raised me, and her father. We had a theme of Damascus steel, right? The two metals coming together, being incorporated together to be
Mm-hmm.
one, and that's how we saw our families, right, coming together like the Damascus steel.
And each other
And
coming together, right? You know, the soft and the
absolutely,
hard
and the
and the
soft and the hard,
balance.
exactly,
Yeah.
and the purpose, the way they would use the soft and hard metals, and in the katana. So we presented my stepdad with a hammer, kind of a decorative old style, old world hammer that was made out of Damascus steel, as he was a
Mm-hmm.
builder. And then to her dad, presented him with a katana. Lo and behold, it was actually one of the only the second sword he had been presented with,
Yes.
and first by family. So he really got the meaning of it, really revered it. So fast forward to into the reception where we're cutting the cake.
Mm-hmm.
We had done the original cut traditional together and had our first piece, and giving each other the dragon eyes of "don't shove it in my face" kind of thing.
Right. Which we did not.
And then I think it might have been my cousin or one of the people from
I think it was
the
Joe.
crowd, so to speak, or maybe it was
I
Joe.
think it was Joe.
Was like, cut the cake with the sword.
Yeah.
Right. And so I mean, as if it had been practiced, right? He draws it, and just carefully cuts a perfect slice, as if it were like demonstrations, where it's on the belly of somebody or something.
Yep.
And sure enough, and then wipe the sword off with.
Yep. Went
cut
right
it
through.
in. So
cool.
yeah, can't help but post that stuff. So that's the video she was talking about.
Oh, very nice, very nice. I know my wife made it very, very, very clear that we were not doing the smashing the cake into each other's faces. That was definitely. I mean, not that I was interested in doing that either, but
Yeah.
she made it very clear that was not happening. So
Right.
Yeah.
very, very cool, very cool.
Yeah.
So since we covered both of your all's origin stories on your particular episode, let's get the combined story. How did you two meet? Even though this isn't a relationship show, although it may head that way, because I did interview both Rebecca and Sean Knight separately, but that is. I believe there's another couple that I've interviewed separately, so maybe this is turning into the Kempo relationship show as well. But yeah, let's get the story of how you two met, and we'll go from there.
Well, I love the way you look at me.
So I'll start, and
You'll
then
start.
you can give your side, right? And
Yeah.
we'll bring them together. So
Yeah.
I was invited by a fellow friend and martial artist to have a training opportunity with her father up north from here. Is roughly an hour and a half drive, and so I came up. It was just an honor to meet him and train with him, and so he accepted me into kind of a small group of that would intermittently come through and be able to still train with him. It wasn't in a class style, right? It was more like a private lesson each time, even if there was a few people there. And without an agenda, just made himself available to what do you want to work on? How can I help? And it was just a pivotal. I can say the word pivotal moment in my martial arts. And so I had been training with him off and on for about 6 years. I had a few shoulder surgeries that had happened during the time, which would take me out for months at a time. So he was really answering a lot of Kempo questions for me, and I had known that he had a daughter. I had never met her. I had never I didn't, my focus when I was up there was, of course, the training and the questions that I would bring with me. He would, volunteer things about, that were going on in life and whatnot. Well, one week I was going up for my private lesson with, again, the friend who I trained with, who also trains under with him. And I had some questions on, even as a black belt, going back through the material of short two. A lot of questions on short two. And so I was coming ready to work on those. I had just watched a video on his app, and I know this is relevant to the story. I just watched a video on the app. It was kind of a supplemental video that he was talking about power curves, what he called power curves. And in the video where he's explaining it, his daughter was on as to demonstrate, and parting wings was the one of the techniques that we're using to showcase, and so she hadn't done it before, and so he was showing it to try to show the before and after, and give the viewers the ability to see it unrehearsed, and then take effect. And I really enjoyed watching the video. So I, of course, had questions about this as well as I drove up for the lesson, and went to do my usual change my into my gi, walked into the room, and lo and behold, his daughter was there.
I was. Yeah. So I had been on break from training for a while. We'll leave out the details, but let's just say training for me wasn't an option for a bit of time, given the situation I was in. So that situation had ended, and I had resumed my training myself, and had started going through my dad's videos myself, and was filming myself, and getting the mat rust off of my belt, so to speak. And my dad saw some of the content that I was putting out, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, like you're moving better than you were before. How's it, But Reggie, you and I've talked about this, how we don't really take breaks because our brains are always in it. So even though we don't do it for maybe even years, consistently, like all of that's still working in the subconscious. But anyway, so dad's just like, "Oh my God, like we've got to start training together. There's so much I want to teach you." And I'm like, "Oh, cool. Like, yes." So dad and I start meeting once and twice, like sometimes twice a week, and doing private lessons. Well, one week the kids are sick, and I'm home with them, so I miss my Wednesday class with dad. And he's like, "You should come Saturday." And I asked mom, if she could watch the kids. She's like, "Yep." And he's like, "Yeah, come Saturday, because I really want, I want you to be able to move, and really do your techniques. Because, I don't know anybody out there like has a hard time like moving on their family, but even though like he's Larry Tatum, I can't hit that man. Like it's my dad, right?" And so we're going through my private lessons, and he was wanting me to get power, and I'm holding back. And so he's like, "There's this big guy coming up from Phoenix." And by big, I mean, Brandon's like 6'2", 220. You were a little bit heavier then, but I mean, he's a pretty solid guy. And he's like, "Yeah, you'll be able to move on him." And he's used to getting hit and all of this, but he's like, "But be careful though." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "He's really handsome." And I got a little ticked about that. I was like, because I was not in that place, right? And I was like, "What do you mean he's handsome? Like have you told him that I'm, pretty, that I'm like, come on, we're training, like whatever." So he's like, "I'm just saying." Anyway, so we get into the gym, and I'm stretching out, and I'm in my gi, barely any makeup, hair in a ponytail, just getting ready. And Brandon walks through the door, and we both looked at each other, and lightning hit, and he's looking at me, and I he was so shocked. I thought I had offended him. I asked him, I'm like, "Is it okay that I'm here? Like, I'm his daughter. Like, I'm just here to train. Like, I'm sorry for hijacking your lesson, And he's like, "No, like, yeah, come, train with us." And he was like, "Oh, I just saw you on power curves." And I was like, "Oh no, because like people see that, and yeah, power curves does work, but they have no idea how many takes it took to get to be able to make it look also like it worked immediately. And I was a much younger belt, and I was so nervous to do it, that I was like, when he mentioned this to me, I was like, oh, like, I'm sorry about that.
She did.
I did.
And I was just coming from a standpoint of admiring the authenticity. Sometimes we need to see the raw learning of it, right? Versus always just seeing the straight to polished, and it gives that, okay, all right, so this learning process is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I loved it.
Yeah. So we had our class with Dad and did not get to move on Brandon with the techniques because you had questions about short two. And I was so pissed because I was like, here we are back again, short two. And I wanted to wail on someone. But then I realized too, I'm like, I can't hit this guy. Damn it. Like,
well, her form was so good. I was like, now, show again the turn into the upward block, because there was mirrors, right? And then I could get a good look of her form, and we'd catch each other. We were like teenagers, all of a sudden, like catching each other, peeking at each other in the mirror and stuff.
We did. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know the feeling.
Oh my God.
Been there a time or two myself. So yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah. So we, after class, we had a brief conversation about EV cars and driving, and turns out that we both really love cars, and we both really love driving, and we both really love, kind of the rugged and the expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, what Kempoist doesn't enjoy a good car, right? Good lines and
We were
speeds.
talking Corvettes and Broncos and
Porsches and
Porsches.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then we just didn't stop talking. Right? You had
Nope.
a phone situation, you got that fixed, and then
Yeah.
messaged me the next day.
And we started a conversation that admittedly started a lot about Long 4.
It did.
And grew from Long 4 to other life topics. And
Art.
Truth is, it's a conversation that was started that we've never so much as paused.
No.
We're still in that conversation.
We are. And so a lot of the content actually that we put out, that people may have seen recently of us in our pajamas by the pool, or us, working things through. Those are the conversations, like part of that long conversation that we've continued to have.
Yep.
But we've also, I mean, we're both published writers. We both work, in the global corporate, what do you want to call it, marketplace, landscape industries. And so we share not just Kempo, but also a love of art and literature and, people development and just all of those things. And something that was so amazing was that Brandon was able to bring Shiri Rue, hardstyle into my world of Kempo. And, you discover that Kempo really has its roots in that Okinawan martial art, that mindset, those concepts and principles we bring into our Kempo. Not a lot of people realize that. And so it's not just been a marriage of two soulmates, but like a marriage of our martial arts as well.
Well, and there was a conversation with you and a friend.
Oh God, yeah, there was a conversation with me and a friend. So it was I'm tripping over my words. When Brandon was up there, training, and you trained with my father for years
Mm-hmm.
before I met you.
Mm-hmm.
You trained with one of our friends, James, and you were both coming from hardstyle and talking about the transition and the similarities in hardstyle and Kempo.
Yeah, and as you know, there's a rigidity in some of the hardstyle movements. I didn't mean to take over.
No.
That sometimes then when you're incorporating the fluidity, not that Kempo is a soft art, I really don't believe it is, but the softness that Kempo accents in between some of those sharp corners was it felt a little bit counterintuitive to what was kind of an overcorrection in maybe some hard style training. And so I making that bridge, that transition, and learning where the thresholds are, recognizing this in this gentleman, and him recognizing it in me, of this mutual path. There's kind of an instant vocabulary connection there where we could relate, right? And so
Yeah.
yeah, so that was anyway.
Well, and so James was a friend of mine, and he'd watch me post some of my content. I think, oh yeah, it was 4. It was long 4. There you go. And getting the power in the motion, and being able to stay in that form, in your breath and in your power, and just really strike with your whole body, striking through your opponent, but keeping the form. And I had been working on that with Dad, and James has seen it on Facebook, and he was like, "Yeah, well, you're not going to generate power without some hard style." And I was like, "James, like, no," and it was just, it was totally Pride and Prejudice moment, right? Because like I'm just like totally like this is American Kempo, and this always works, and this stance, and I'm doing what I can, and like this is all that I can give it right now. I'm trying to figure out how to generate more. And he's like, "Well, there's a gentleman that used to train with us, and he's very knowledgeable of hard style, Shiri Rue black belt, and you should talk to him." And I was like, the last thing I want to do is talk to a guy that thinks that his style is the best. I said, there's absolutely no way. There's no conversation that's going to be had there, because he's not going to be open-minded to hear the, blah, blah, right. And so I've already made this decision. And this was like well before I met Brandon. Right. And every time he'd say, you got to talk to this guy. I think his name was Brandon, but you got to talk to him. And my dad never told me the name of who was coming up, right? He was just like, there's this big dude coming up. And so I didn't put the two together. And then I realized, like, oh my God, I married the man that I said I would never talk to, would never have a conversation with. Yeah. So Pride and Prejudice fans, there you go. Like, that's your Hallmark movie. It was ironic. And I'm glad I did, because, wow, to be able to holistically look at the art, not just Kempo, not just Okinawan, but the art of movement, and marry those together, has been beautiful. And yeah, I did find some more power for sure. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. I love I love how things kind of work out the way that they need to work out. And like I said before, in the Kempo, the martial arts, you don't find the martial arts, you don't find Kempo, you don't find karate, they find you. And things work out the way they need to work out, so that we can get to these places and meet these people, and the timing and
Mm-hmm.
all of those things. Just it's always crazy how it works out. I mean, for me, I've said for years, ever since the original UFC came out, I'm not going to do jiu-jitsu, this Brazilian jiu-jitsu stuff. I don't want to roll around on the ground with people. And fast forward to now, and I love me some Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and
Yep.
found a great school that really nurtured my desire to choke people out. And
Nice.
haven't got to that choking people out part. I'm getting arm barred more than I'm choking, but
Sure.
it's a process. So, but that's part of the fun. That's part of the journey. We roll with it, and it works out the way that it needs to work out. So, I like the story. I like that. Weren't interested in sullying the Kempo, but I mean, Kempo, especially now that I've seen, just Kempo is just everywhere, and it fits in, and it works so well with other arts, other styles, other disciplines, and just there's so much room for these different things to connect and enhance each other, and we can learn from each other, and not being so closed-minded is just such a benefit. And for those that that cross train, they get those benefits, and for those that don't cross train, as long as they're still willing to have an open mind, open heart in hearing other ways of doing things, other mentalities, we can see both the differences and the similarities that all these different arts have. I mean, a punch is a punch, a kick's a kick, a choke's a choke, regardless of the system. But there's different angles, there's different perspectives to go at things, and then there's different ways to add, subtract, all of these different pieces. We can still connect and still have that common bond of getting the art out there. So so I really like that, like the connection that y'all have found and are growing, and I like the idea of just you're continuing that conversation. It's never just, okay, well, we're done talking about that. There's always more to add on, and to just continue to expand that. I've mentioned before how my teacher, he has this exercise that he throws on us every now and then. We just take the first technique, delayed sword, and how many different things can you come off of that technique. And initially we're thinking, oh yeah, you can do like 8 or 9 or 10, and it's like, no, there's infinite amount of things that you can build off of that technique, combining it with other techniques, removing things, changing the order, just all of those different principles and concepts just applied to just that one technique. And you could just go off of that for years, just working that. And we have so many more techniques that this can be applied to, and combining that with other things, other ideas. It's a never ending feast of martial arts goodness. So I like that.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to say, that if you needed to use anything beyond a yellow belt technique, something had gone horribly awry. like if you're in an extension, that's that's by choice, or it's a mass attack, or you don't have an exit, or something has happened to take you out of an ideal phase to put you into an even if phase, right? But yeah, yellow belt, and you have a story too, didn't Soke have? He taught someone just an inward block.
Well, it's an old story used to tell.
Yeah.
Hundreds of years ago in Okinawa, student wanted to learn from the master, and it's a similar story like Genshin Funakoshi. The way he learned, actually, when you read his biography, it was Shotokan. But we all come in wanting to learn the fancy moves, and he got inward block, and just
for
hours
years.
and hours and for months and months, all he could practice was inward block. When do I get outward block? When do I get inward block? He's getting frustrated. Then one day he was a little bit late for his lesson, and master said, what's going on? He said, well, I got jumped by 3 people. What happened? Well, first one came in for a punch, and I inward block and broke his arm. The other one was coming from the side, and I turned and I inward block and I took out his jaw. And the third one saw my inward blocks and ran. And the grandmaster said,
I love it.
now you're ready for outward block.
Now for outward block.
I love it. That reminds me of two different things, or 2 different stories. One, I may be misremembering it, but I believe it was a student of Chuck Sullivan, who was saying that he came to Mr. Sullivan one day and was like, "Oh, I'm so mad at myself because I got into this street fight and I was gonna do this technique on this person, and I only got to do like the first two moves of the technique, or I did the first move of the technique and knocked the guy out or whatever, and I was so mad that I didn't get to finish the technique." And
Right.
Sullivan's like that's the point. That's you're supposed to do that. If it works with the first move, then great, you're perfect. So I always thought that one was pretty funny. The other thing that comes to mind is I believe it was Ed Parker Jr. had mentioned that like his first year of training was doing delayed sword, and you have all these other great kempoists out there, and they're learning all these cool techniques, and it's like the son of the father of the art is just doing just this one technique. So that makes me always kind of laugh. And then the other thing that came to mind, because my mind works in all of these kind of weird tangents, but there was a documentary, I believe it was called Hero Dreams of Sushi. And it was about this big time sushi chef. And it was pretty interesting in that one of the things is that when you go to his little spot, you don't order anything. He essentially interviews you for like an hour, and then he decides what dishes to give you. And one of the things is that he has this little one of the guys that works with him. This whole doing making sushi is kind of like a martial art in itself, in that
Oh, totally.
his little worker bee there spent like 7 years just working on how you do the rice. You didn't even get to the sushi part of it, but you just spend your first years just training on how to properly prepare the rice, and then once you do that well enough, then you get to move on to possibly, there's a few other steps before you even get to start working on doing the sushi itself. And I just thought that was pretty crazy. But
I mean, it's true. I mean, no doubt in my mind that Edmund Jr., worked on that because his father would have wanted him to understand it completely and conceptually the way he understood it, which is no different in the way that my father taught me long four, which took almost 2 years. I mean, he taught me like literally like a quarter of an inch at a time. And if my footing was off or my hand positioning was off, I mean, we'd stop and nope, we're going to do it again. We're going to do it again. And I'd watch other people, my peers with their training and ranking and those things like ahead of me. And I'd be like, why don't you let me do this? I mean, he wouldn't start me on 8 until last year, because he was waiting for a visual confirmation that the art had sank into a place to where I could conceptually and emotionally, spiritually, all of it, handle the next level, which is something that all parents will do for their kids, right? Especially parents that know that their children are going to be under scrutiny, which is something I'm sure Edmund and I can both probably relate to, is the scrutiny of being the firstborn under a grandmaster. It's terrifying.
Yeah, that's I'm not sure if I had asked this before, but I will kind of ask it now. So do you feel the pressure of one, not only kind of having to live up to the name, but also, is there any kind of pressure to maybe forge your own path, or like, okay, I maybe not so much for the sake of just being different, but it's like, okay, well, I need to make my own name as well, and I have to have, you know, whatever Kempo be different because I need to establish my own piece of the name, or is there any kind of pressure for that?
Well, I mean, when I had met Brandon, um, I had just reached a place where I was comfortable with the pressure, um, and I also didn't expect anyone to be able to understand that, or what I was going to be needing to do to train into that, so that, you know, the lineage could be preserved. Um, and Brandon does, you know, because he's done such an amazing job preserving his lineage, and so the pressure isn't as awful anymore because it's him and I working, you know, together with that. In terms of wanting to, you know, have my own name, or our name, or, you know, make a dent in Kempo, I don't feel that Kempo needs dents in it, and I don't feel that it needs to be changed. I'm still very much the Kempo Kool-Aid drinker that, you know, Mr. Parker accounted for, and the rest of us continue to account for all of the various lines and angles of the language of motion, you know, the science of motion within the pattern. I will, however, say that the addition of being able to taste some of the Okinawan background, you know, working with Brandon and Sherry, um, and being able to go, aha, all right, I see where we can season this technique with that. We're not changing it, you know, I'm not leaving stuff out. I certainly believe that everything that's in there should remain, including all of the sets. And that's a hill I'm going to die on, Reggie. but, um,
I like it.
but
I like it.
you know, in terms of uh, the the need to, you know, people ask me like, well, are you as fast as your dad? Like, I don't know, you know, I don't know. Like, I who knows? Who knows what the genetic potential is there? He's been doing it every day for, you know, over like 60 years at this point, right? 55 years. Um, I endeavor, we should say, I endeavor to be as accurate and as deadly and as graceful as both of my parents, um, in only to become more of a peacemaker, not not someone, you know, who creates war with it or wants to hurt people. So that's my very long answer. What do you think? Do you feel pressure? You know, marrying into the family. Like, how's that
Yeah,
feel
you're
for you?
the son-in-law, the son-in-law. So you gotta
Sure.
no pressure there.
I mean, we all experience um, levels of imposter syndrome, right?
Mm-hmm.
In so many situations, uh, and I'm glad for that. I really am, because it shows, you know, if something isn't bigger than you, then you don't grow with it and from it. And so, as I came in, and it had nothing to do with, of course, the motive. Again, you
Yeah,
know,
no.
I didn't, uh, wasn't, you know, trying to, but what an honor to marry into the legacy. And it's as much as it was an honor just to become a student of. And you know, every time, uh, I know it sounds like probably, you know, kind of romanticizing, but it really is the fingerprints on your belt, on your art, from the experience and the knowledge from in, you know, Grandmaster Larry Tatum is so invaluable. But just as what he did with what he learned from Parker, what we do with what we learn from him, there's a growth in that
Mm-hmm.
expression. The art isn't changing, but there's a growth in the expression, a new angle, a new light. Every diamond shines slightly different, even though it's the same sun shining on it,
Right.
right? And they can have the different cuts and whatnot. So once I came into it, I learned that his and I don't mean to speak for him, so I say this very respectfully. It wasn't to clone. It was to take the box of tools, take the principles, take these, reference the experiences that has had as use cases in the stories, but then to explore it and develop it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like the old expression that there's pride in ownership. We don't exercise, we don't carry techniques or principles that we are still being borrowed from someone else. It has to root inside of you and become
Internalize.
yours.
Yep.
And it kind of becomes your version of it, even if it's the exact same thing, but you slightly change the wording in your head that fits your, or you have a different visual of it, but it's the
Mm-hmm.
same principle. Then it becomes yours.
Mm-hmm.
And once that you have that freedom to do that, which is really scary, I'll be honest with you. I mean, it's because I've always wanted to do it right, and I've leaned on curriculums and asking down to the minute detail. I mean, finger placement, everything, looking for an absolutes.
Oh yeah.
And within those that system of absolutes, there would be purposeful, intentional exceptions that allowed for cross pollination across different technique categories or
Mm-hmm.
curriculum categories, kata techniques, sparring sets, right? Footwork basics. So anyway, all this to say that I'm giving a technical answer to a relational question, but what can I do? I'm a technician, but then it suddenly became so liberating. Like, no, it's safe and encouraged and expected, and especially
Because that's what he told us.
yeah,
Remember?
that to run with it.
Yeah.
So as soon as that happened and we embraced this mindset, it changed.
Which took a bit, by the way, right? Because we're still going to him going, he's like, what are you guys working on? We're like, well, we're going back through the purple card. And he's like, why are you doing that?
And then,
like
and-
we're but we want to make it perfect, Dad. Like we want to make it perfect and we want to do it justice. And he's like, you guys, you're not in kindergarten anymore. And nothing to say of like people that are studying purple, but I mean, for us, you know, he was like, go figure something else out. Figure out how to use these techniques in a different way. Figure out some master keys. Figure out, you know, take a look at it this way. But he's like, don't go down that card. You both have been down that card
right,
a thousand
and not
times.
just to learn it statically, exactly.
Right.
But then to break the fourth wall, so to speak,
Yeah.
of the art, and started, you know, find the master keys, find notice where the point of origin is
Mhm.
of you know, your hands at the beginning of the technique versus the end and so forth. And so then in doing that, it sparked where we started again taking purple card, and this was related to the answer, I promise.
Yep.
And started recognizing the relationships between the techniques and how different techniques and the extensions are actually counters to those techniques,
To
so
their own.
that the purple card creates this interwoven
Mhm.
and then taking those and being able to apply it into other scenarios similar to like what you were saying with delayed sword.
Yep.
Right, only it would be like a delayed sword against delayed sword, right? And pulling that out on the front, back, side, forward, and then, you know, different angles, and then bringing that back to him. The smile on his face is like, there we go,
There you go.
all right,
Yeah.
here, right. And so there's that freedom to do that. Then we add with the heart style, like with the shuri, and there is and I'm not saying that some kempoists don't do this. This has nothing to do with me shining any shadows on kempo, but there is a emphasis in the shuri to what they call living the kata, right? Live the form, and it's twofold, it's multiple fold. One is, and again, I promise this comes back to the answer here, but one is okay, we've learned the structure. We've learned, you know, just like I can reread a speech but it sounds totally different when a Morgan Freeman gives it that inflection, right? But I can just read it, and all the structure's there. I pronounced all the words, right? But it's flat. Same thing with our forms. Then we learn to give ourselves this safe space to actually activate and make a mind muscle connection with all of our body, and pulling, channeling our emotions, channeling our spirit into it, and expressing full body punches, and interwoven in the hard and soft, the breath work. And then adding the visualization of seeing what you're doing, seeing what, not just the technical of the inward, the mirror, the motion path, but seeing the energy that you're exerting, and your range, and seeing, imagining yourself saving yours or someone else's life in these situations, or with that's living the kata. Well, in a larger level, it's like with him giving us this liberty to take those tools, we're living the system. We're living the Kempo art, and that it's okay for there to be the Brandon 0.0 of Kempo. This doesn't change the art. It's just it's the art on my genetics and biases. And the Brittnay 0.0 Kempo, the Brandon and Brittnay 0.0. Within in the Shuri and the heart style, and the relationships, because they're not contradictive, right? If we go back to the original principle, so
oh God, but let's talk about that, right? Let's talk about the art. You've got a hard and a soft side. You've got a right and a left side. You've got a masculine and a feminine side. Doesn't matter how you identify. You're still going to have those two sides. So what's beautiful about you and I is that we balance each other on those levels. And when we're working out together, there isn't a competition. There isn't, like, for anybody that sees us working out together, like, he is spot on with me, and gentle. It's very slow. It's very intentional. And the same with me to him. I am never trying to, dominate, well, I'm a woman and I'm going to dominate my husband on screen, or something. We don't treat each other that way. We balance one another within, because we're very curious about the art itself and how the art expresses itself with one another, and then very excited to show people that, to bring that. I don't think there are a lot of martial art couples that teach together in that way. With such respect to what they're doing and to their audience, and and I hope that there are. I mean, if there are, we got to encourage those people to keep doing it. But
we decided early on that we're a team. It's a partnership.
Exactly.
In the martial arts as well, not just in marriage and life, but it's the same principle. But as we've partnered together in the exploration of our martial arts, which makes us on the same team. Doesn't mean we always have to agree on everything.
Which we don't.
Which team members don't always, right? And sometimes, after the game, well, this or that, or before the game, I think we should. There isn't always an agreement, or but there is an agreement to
the
agree.
Outcome.
You're right. There's an agreement that the line is always drawn beside us, not in between us. So there's no competition here. And so I'm never going to be threatened by her doing techniques better than me, or different than me, or vice versa, because it's not what it's about. And I learn from watching her. She learns from watching me. We learn from this exchange, and we learn from the disagreements sometimes. Sometimes at the end of it, I say, you know what? Okay, I see your point. Yeah. I get it. I might have been a little bit hard bias on this. The cure for a bias is to try to disprove it. Right? Are we willing to do that?
Right.
And then sometimes at the end of it, she'll say, okay, all right, so, I see where you're talking about now. And then it makes us better.
It makes us stronger.
And that is something that I honestly didn't know was possible.
Me either. I mean, I've never had a, nope. It's always been me by myself for the most part. Otherwise, there was such challenge, you know, yeah.
I guess I shouldn't say possible. I'm realistic. How's that?
Yeah, sure. But we found it, which
Yep.
is really cool.
And like anything, you have to protect it too. There's always foxes, that'll try to come in and sneak into the garden, and so we make a boundary. We're on the same team, and our art really is like a garden. Poor Reggie. He's
I know,
to
he's
interview
like-
us here, and we just keep talking.
Sorry, Reggie.
but
No, I love it though. It just kind of hit me that one of the things that I enjoy talking to you both and is really connecting with me is you both have kind of the same. How do I want to word this? You have kind of the same mindset in that how you kind of think about all of these different things and work through kind of this growth of the art and of life. And I'm just kind of thinking, so for the listeners, we've been trying to get this kind of set up for a little bit, and life gets crazy, and it's the end of the year and all these different things. But in preparation for this, I re-listened to both of your individual episodes, and it was just striking me now how very similar both of you are in the way that you connect things and think about things and answer these questions and things and I love that. One of the things I always say about that I love about doing this show is I love talking to Kempo people, martial arts people, because they like to talk, and that puts less work on me. So I don't have to try and come up with all of these, big questions and but talk about your art and just let them go. So that I'm believe me, I have no qualms. If I didn't wrangle this, if I didn't have my self-discipline of wrangling this show in from time to time, I mean, we'd have 12-hour shows and
Sure.
and I mean, I'm just looking at the time here, and we're flying. So I don't really do preparation for this show. Most of the listeners should probably realize that. I don't do any kind of prep for the show, but I do think about kind of some of the things that I want to ask, and I did have some points that I wanted to get to, and I mean, I don't want to monopolize all of your time, so we're definitely not going to get to all the things that I thought
away.
about. So we'll,
if you allow me to just say one last sentence on the other thing, and then let's run with it. We'll be good. We promise. Just want to express such a huge thank you both to Larry Tatum, Grandmaster Larry Tatum, and to Master Mark Smith and Shuri Roo for their trust in us and in trusting us with the art that they've spent a lifetime learning and refining, and that's a huge honor.
It is.
And so want the world to know we are thankful.
We are thankful. And now,
very nice.
pepper us
I like
with
it.
questions, Reggie.
I like it. Well, like I've said before, we have to do parts 2 and 3 and 4 and 12, and I mean oh my goodness, we could go on so many different tangents and rat holes, and we definitely will. Probably not on this episode, because I do. There's probably there's one point I definitely want to make sure that we get onto, but there's possibly 2 that we'll get on this episode. So buckle in, folks. This is a longer episode than normal, but that's fine. So we'll run with it. So but before I get on that next point, I have to make sure I mention I'm not sure if this is going to be a video episode or not. We'll see what kind of work I want to deal with, but I do want to have it on record that these two lovebirds have been holding hands the entire episode, and I love that. That is a great sight to see, that the connection, the bond. It's like that's primo. So I do want to make sure that that's known, that if this is not a video episode, that they have been holding hands literally the whole episode, and this is great, and they're giving each other the loving, longing looks, and that's that warms this old heart. So I love that. Was it since we're in the holiday season? Was it the Heatmeister? Once again, dating myself, or the Cold Meister or something like that, and or maybe I'm confusing that with the Grinch or something. I just remember something about warming the heart and
holiday cheermeister or something like that. Award.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, so once again, rat hole, but we'll move on. So we definitely have to talk about the hot sauces. So so where, I guess, this is kind of combining the shameless self promotion, but where did the idea for the sauces start? How did that all come about, and then plug it away so that all the listeners can go out and get some. So
sure. So first, let me start by saying I apologize, Reggie. We had intended to send you a box, and we failed to do that. Your box of sauces is coming.
Yeah, we just need your address.
Awesome. No need to do that, but awesome. I apologize that I have not yet purchased.
No.
Been on the plan to do that, and
we'll send it to you. We want your opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, relating it to like our martial arts, we were sitting out by the pool, enjoying a glass of wine in the evening, looking at the sunset, and a lot of creativity starts with the what if, and eventually ends with hopefully a why not. And so we had this idea, of Bushido. We've talked about Bushido. We have Bushido written
literally
on
on
our arms, both of us.
Yeah.
We've probably both referenced it, I'm sure, in our previous episodes with you individually.
Mm-hmm.
But that mindset, the way of the warrior, we thought, wouldn't it be interesting? Wouldn't it be fun? We had a sauce line, and we happened to know a couple here in town, friends with us, and who has a commercial kitchen, and had been exploring some sauce recipes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we decided, well, let's approach him if we could do kind of a partnership, kind of a ghost kitchen there. And so we talked about the recipes, what the different flavor profiles would be. I'm a firm believer that too many, like the book, The Paradox of Choice, too many options diminishes the value of each one. We don't need 15 different sauce choices, because they're going to overlap. So we locked down on 3 different, what we used to call hot sauces. We changed it to infusion sauces, and I'll explain that just briefly in a moment.
We rebranded
it.
Just so everyone knows too, we did all of the design on the labels ourselves. We did, like in-house, we did all of the product shots. We did all of the design on our box. We created our own logo. Brandon and I put our collective day job heads together and got super creative with the branding story, and so that was also really just fun thing to do with one another.
It was a creative child.
Yeah, we built the website ourselves, all of it. Yeah,
them building on each other. So it's not mine, it's not hers, it's very much ours.
It's hers.
And the emphasis behind it again was each of the sauces having their own voice, so to speak, or flavor profile.
Mm-hmm.
They're infusion sauces because the purpose of them, yes, they have spice to them, but the purpose isn't just to make things hot, but it's to incorporate, to integrate, and to support the. I love cooking for her because I love her, and I love seeing that
and you're a great cook.
The joy in her in experiencing that. We love to host with our friends and love experiencing the new flavors and
Creating the memories.
Yes, exactly, creating the memories. And so that's what this is about. And so we did it in a fun martial arts theme. So each of the sauces have similar to like a kung fu. We have our Tiger Fury, which is our mango habanero.
Yeah, my favorite.
On the medium side, she calls it her EDC, or her everyday carry sauce, right?
Little black dress.
Yep.
I like that. I like that.
Then the next one is the Serpent Strike. Again, she did great artwork for that. It's got 4 peppers. It's got 4 different vegetables cooked in it. That give it a savory yet spicy. Then we go up to the Dragon Fire, right, which is more on the vinegary, but much hotter. It's the ghost pepper. Again, the purpose of it isn't to just like melt plastic or make a Geiger counter go off, but it is really, but and they can be incorporated and use just a tablespoon of it in ranch dressing dip or in
a rub.
Things that can, a rub that can cut it.
Yeah.
So it's versatile. Then we have a barbecue, which is our Panda Warrior. We wrote a story for it of the Panda Warrior commissioned by the Council of Flavor go, chase away the scourge of blandness in the lands, searching out, spices and unique flavors. So this is a honey habanero barbecue sauce. So each one of them has their own their own voice that supports that. The other thing about it is it means you don't have to pick a favorite. They can all be a favorite because they're different.
They're different. And just so too, I mean, like one of our very first dates, well, the first time I came down here on your birthday.
Yes.
Right. I asked him, I said, do you want a birthday cake? Like, what do you want, for your birthday? And he's like, well, I'd like a blackberry cobbler.
Can't make it easy, right?
Right. So I go to Mortimer's Farms and I get blackberries that are pulled out of the ground like half an hour before I'm to be at his house, right? So they're fresh. And I get here with all of those ingredients and we start infusing, masticating the fruit and everything, getting it ready to go into the cobbler. For those listening, go look up what masticate means. But, it's basically fruit and the sugar and breaking it down. And
I felt masticated.
Are you emasculated? So I brought that, right? But he cooked for me. And he didn't just throw something on the grill. I mean, this man whipped together the most beautiful garlic, red onion, buttery cream sauce with butterflied chicken and Cajun spices and served it on a bed of Himalayan black rice. I mean, this we decided to call sexy chicken because it's, anyway, the point is back to the sauces.
No, I love it. I love it.
This is
getting hungry already.
When we started serving it to the kids.
We did. So now it's coffee chicken or something. But, that was a very big connection point for Brandon and I, because not only being martial artists, but again, going back to loving art and flavor and texture in what we eat and giving that to one another. It's very much like the art. And so our sauces are an extension of, get it? Extension? See what I did there? They're an extension.
96 of them.
Right.
BushidoSauce.com is the
Bushido.
website. Mm-hmm. And there's write-ups on each of the sauces and links to order and how to contact us. And any questions, please feel free to reach out. It is really, it's a sharing. The purpose of it is to support memory building and bonding and the challenge to take, just like with our arts, to take something different ingredients and incorporate them with other things. Rearrangement, right? to discover a new aspect, a new angle, and never stop.
Exactly.
Yeah, just like I said before, Kempo's everywhere. So it's not just in the dojo, but in the kitchen as well. So in the kitchen, on the grill, it's everywhere. So I love that. I also have to make mention of how we are once again, we have these connections. So I was just in love with the fact that birthday was not a cake. I am not a. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love birthday cake, but on my birthdays, I would rather have a pie than a cake.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that, and I was like,
Our
these are
14-year-old.
my people. These are my people. So,
Yeah.
Oh, and this cobbler she made, I'm serious. Rachel Ray, every cook, they might as well just take off the apron and lay it at her feet. It was incredible.
Aw, thanks, Sonny. Yeah, for those listening, if you haven't incorporated cognac in the mastication process of the berries, just a little splash of that in there, and make sure it's a cognac that you would want to drink versus just that you think you're cooking down. Oh my gracious, that was the kicker. And don't forget your sea salt. There you go. Okay, all right, we're good.
very nice, very nice. See, with it, we are just like the arts. We are evolving. We started out with a Kempo, a martial arts show. We moved into a relationship show.
Now we're
Now
cooking.
we're in a cooking show. I mean, this is good stuff here. This is golden. I love it. I love it. So we're going to transition to. We're gonna get into our final bit here, and like I mentioned, we'll definitely have to get some more parts to this in the not too distant future. But we're going to transition over to we're gonna take it back to the martial arts. So
Okay.
yeah, every my mind is going off in different directions, but one of the things that just came into mind. So I may have mentioned this with other guests before, but my mind works in references. I liken it to the show Family Guy. They do these cutaways to different things, and just as we were talking here, it came to mind, and I guess it's kind of poignant at this particular time. Being with the recent passing of Rob Reiner, there's a scene in The Princess Bride, and Fred Savage's character says where's the sports? And so I was just thinking about how we're not talking martial arts, and I'm imagining the listeners are like, this is all
doing,
great,
Reggie?
but
You're off
where's the martial arts stuff at? So we're getting back to it. So just hold your geese. We're getting back to the martial arts stuff. So semi recently, I was part of a conversation about what it means to be a black belt, and I don't believe I asked you individually about this. So now you get your turn at bat for this. So I started asking my guest, since there isn't a standard, and not just in Kempo, but in all of the martial arts, there's not a standard for what constitutes a black belt, what makes someone worthy to earn their black belt, what it means to be a black belt. So I started asking my guests, what is that for you, since there is no right or wrong answer to this. This is all personal, based on our experiences and all these different factors. But what do you feel is something? What do you feel makes someone a black belt? What makes someone worthy to earn a black belt? Just kind of your thoughts around being a black belt.
Sure. I mean, when I got my black belt, I remember the day very clearly, and tying it on, and I was so happy because I had broken so many bones on my way there. People at Green Street, Dad's Green Street black belts, they didn't give you an inch on anything, and we had all been training very, very hard, and I was like, that's the thing, right, the black belt, the rank, and kneeling there and putting it on, and it felt different than I thought it would. Like I started to cry in gratitude that I felt in that moment. oh my gosh, I actually, I don't know anything. Like this is just the start of my journey. And it felt like I was putting on a black white belt. I also felt and still feel an immense responsibility to be in control of my reactions, understanding and taking ownership that the knowledge that I have, then and now as a fourth degree, make me an extremely dangerous person if I want to be. And so, taking that into account, I put that in perspective of calling myself a peacemaker, an ambassador of the art, and so you ask, who's worthy to wear a black belt? Well, I mean, we're not Thor, right? This isn't Asgard. Thank God everybody's worthy to pick up a belt and do the training. But I like to think that most of the time, the people that are worthy to put one on are the people that have stayed in it long enough and gone through all of the emotional ups and downs of the journey, because it's not like you just get to go to the dojo every day and train. I mean, it is a long journey to get to black, which means that you've also experienced life. You've gotten married, you've gotten divorced, you've lost friends, people have died, you've changed careers, you've grown as a human, you've made mistakes, you've had triumphs, and so by the time you get there, if you've hung in long enough, and hopefully your mindset is such of gratitude and curiosity about what's next. Every once in a while, there's someone that ties a black belt on that, you know, maybe can be a loose cannon or whatever. But for the most part, that's what it means to me, and that's the code that I hold myself to, very much the Bushido code, and the journey never ends. So.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man.
No, thank you.
Very, very similar. Black belt, and I also remember the day each of them were given to me or presented to me and tied on. And you know, it's such a journey. It's a milestone of a pursuit that took longer than you thought it would, cost you more than you thought it would, but turned you into something better than you thought you could be, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually and perspectively. I heard it said once from Grandmaster Soke Simmons, John Simmons, was the Shri Root. He was saying, you know, white belt, you know, into early color belts. Many are learning to want to learn new skill, want to expand their life or want to get in shape, and then they move to, as they're ready for the blues and greens, that they want to be the best at something, and then they get to brown belt, and they want to have essentially the focus and attention and learn everything they can from having all the knowledge. And then they get to black belt, where it's a perspective change of recognizing that it's as much of a beginning as it is a conclusion, and it's just the conclusion of the beginning. And now it's, who can I share and learn with? Who can I give this knowledge to?
Mm-hmm.
You know, as you know, in traditional philosophy, the presentation of a black belt is a ceremony. It is a graduation of two people. It is both the one receiving the belt and the instructor that led them on that journey. Both are testing.
They are.
And both are celebrating. And that connection is incredible. And so for me, and I realize it's a subjective question, but for me, black belt is when you are able to take something that is it's cyclic. You take something that is general as a system, you learn to incorporate it so that it becomes a part of you. But now you take that individuality and take it back to the martial arts community and back to the system, and become an enhancement of the art, another expression of the art that is not contrary to the art, because there's nothing broken, so there's nothing we need to fix.
Exactly.
And so,
but we're custodians.
We're custodians.
We're guardians
exactly.
of the galaxy.
Yeah.
We are Groot.
We promise these short answers, and we're giving you dissertations for everything.
No, like I said, this is less work for me. So,
but
I like it.
It's and I can tell you, every single time I tie on my black belt, I absolutely see the faces of the instructors and the co-students and my heroes of old in the art, the pictures of the ones that it was before they had cameras, right? And the sketches, I see the faces, and I feel so honored that I'm part of something that is good. I'm part of something that is generational, and the only way it survives another generation is if we don't keep it a secret.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry. I see that too when I tie it on. You know, it's such a tremendous honor to be able to carry that forward. You know, so
very well said. Very, very well said. That's why I love asking that, because I've just been getting such great responses to that. So, and I don't think it's ever really talked about that much, about getting a black belt, what it means to be a black belt. We just kind of, everybody's just where we train to get to the black belt, and the conversation kind of stops after that, at least
it can.
From what I've seen. So I think analyzing and talking about, okay, now we always say you get your black belt, and that's when you start training, and that's when you start learning. But there isn't really any kind of conversation after that. At least from what I've seen. So
yeah. So
I like asking that and getting that response to get us thinking about, okay, the black belt and beyond. What is that? Okay, now that we're at this point where we get to start learning, okay, what is it that we're learning? And so
thanks for asking the question.
I love that.
Because if you don't ask the question, people aren't going to talk about it. It's not like we go around going, today I'm going to talk about what it's like to be a black belt. In fact, so many people that don't know us, outside of the martial arts world, they have no idea that we do martial arts. Like, they see that we have, Japanese inspired tattoos, on our arms, and they ask us questions about it. But I mean, we don't go out in the world and go, oh, treat me like a 4th degree black belt, or,
wear a t-shirt. Ask me about the martial arts.
Ask me about Kempo today. Right. And so they're genuinely surprised, and sometimes they're curious about it. And sometimes they're like, oh, do you do Taekwondo? And we're like, no. And they're like, all right, moving on. So I'm glad that you're asking the questions.
I love that. It just, my rat hole mind goes off on tangents once again, but one of the things that I love about now being a jiu-jitsu practitioner is that the jiu-jitsu memes are straight fire. They are really next level, and especially this time of year, lots of memes about going to the holiday party, realizing that I can choke out every single person here and I can't do anything about it. So I just, even if I'll put this out there for all the listeners that even if you don't do jujitsu, check out the jujitsu memes. They are just hilarious.
Oh yeah.
I have spent many a nights scrolling through Instagram and looking at just the comedy that comes from that world is amazing. So I'll put that out there.
We'll check it out.
All right.
Yep.
So I was debating as to whether or not I wanted to do this last thing here, and my curiosity is peaking. So we're gonna go ahead and do it. We are going to break back out the lightning round here. So you can decide if you want to tackle this individually or as a couple or both or however you want to do it. But so we're going to throw out the lightning round questions here, and we're going to see if maybe they are different than from your individual episodes. So I believe they're all the same. They might have. There might be one or two that are different from when I originally interviewed you, but here we go. So first one being, do you have a favorite technique?
Yes. It's still unfurling crane. It is. But, yeah. Prince of the Tiger. Destructive Twins. The complicated ones.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, definitely unfurling crane. Also, I've always just been fascinated with circling windmills.
Yeah.
And just the energy of it. And I know you say favorite technique, and we're listing like 5 of them, but. And I might have
as I've said before, with many guests, asking a Kempo practitioner what their favorite technique is like picking your favorite child.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
I mean, we do have a favorite. No, I'm joking. No, we don't.
but for thundering hammers, flashing wings,
Sure.
and destructive kneel, for me, they are. In a way, they are a technique expressed 3 different ways, and probably if I had to go, I'm going to go with those as favorite.
Go with those. Yeah, family grouping. There you go. Yeah, cool.
I like it. Very nice. All right. Next question: do you have a favorite form and/or set?
You go.
I know stand set. I don't want to answer for you. Stand set too, but
Well,
out of the bag. But
it was stand set too. I okay, so that's still a favorite, and have been going back and working with Bo, our staff set, and came to the realization last night that it is not just a Bo staff set. It is my theory that it is also a Bo stance set, where we, our body creates the bow, and we are both showcasing the weapon, but diving deep into how the body itself is that bow weapon, and so I'm enjoying really taking my time with that. And Brandon made me this beautiful staff. I don't know if you saw it on Facebook, but that beautiful black staff I'm wielding around, this man made for me and stained for me and made sure that the grip was good on it. So I'm enjoying that too.
Yeah, I was just watching that video just a little bit before we got on online here. So yeah, that was good stuff there.
So for me, favorite form and set, I'm gonna say finger set 2.
Yeah, you do love that one.
And I love the similar to and also I'll just give finger set 2, and then for the form or kata, long 4. But I want to be specific in my new expression of long 4, which is not changing any of the movements, simply incorporating the accents of the fluidity well, I should say the power, the full body torque that I literally got from even the first kata in Shuriru Kiho Nino, then married with the fluidity and the transitions and borrowing the force from one movement and carrying it into the next, and the circular power together, it becomes a concert. Like my goal is for it to be a concert like a symphony, how it can build and lower, and the same thing translates into finger set too, and it has this expansion and contraction that I absolutely love to explore.
Yeah.
And it is damn lethal when you pull out the principles from it, that it can look so complicated from a distance, but when you take it apart, the concepts are really simple.
Oh yeah. And lead up to 8, right? So then, your body is the weapon first, right? These are our knives first.
Yeah.
And then the knives themselves are just an extension of what the lethality, is that a word?
The lethalification.
The lethalification, right? Of how, again, ownership, how deadly we already are, right?
Yeah.
We have karate empty hands, but they are also weapons. So I love that.
That was a long strike of lightning there.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Sounds good. You got a lot to think about, a lot to process. And, once again, that's that getting that deep dive of the forms, the techniques, there's all of that. There's that's what I love about this. There's just so much to mine. Even before you get to the higher ranks, there's so much to mine, and then you get to those higher ranks, and there's just more to dig into and absorb and learn, and just all these different angles and different perspectives, and just can't get enough of it. So I love it. All right. Next question. Do you have a favorite weapon?
Mm-hmm.
My favorite weapon is the katana. Although I've been in love with it for years and years, but I'm just learning it. I had one old katana kata, but learning the actual principles and dynamics at the same time from in a Kempo curriculum. Honestly, the bow staff.
Yeah. I was going to say my Mossberg, but
Hey, it's a weapon.
It's a weapon.
It's a weapon. I've had answers from, of course, knives and bows and swords and stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, the episode that I'm putting out this week with Paul Coffey, he said a pen.
Pen?
Sorry, I'm spoiling it for the listener, but yeah, like an ink pen.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, and so
I almost had to do that once. I had a guy coming across my dad's desk. He was getting ready to jump, and I didn't have anything else to grab. So I grabbed a ballpoint pen and I braced it with my thumb, and I made the decision that I was going to go right where I was going to go, and then follow it through, and then get into therapy right after. And it was terrifying because I was like, very calm about picking it up and deciding that that's what was going to happen, and B, then freaked out that I was so calm about it. But yeah, I can see a pen, and I didn't have to use it. The gentleman saw that I was getting ready, and abruptly in the middle of the conversation just got up and ran away. Anyway, so there you go.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. I like it. How very well, I said this to him. How very John Wick of you, but I guess it would be a ballerina would be more.
I was thinking it too. Yeah. I was even going to give a compliment. Even John Wick only wrote it in pencil, killed him in pencil. So he's committed to ink.
He's committed to ink.
There you go.
Well done.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah, I like it. All right. Next question. If there's anyone that you could train with, living or dead, fictional or non-fictional, besides Ed Parker, who would that be?
I miss training with my mom. And she's not dead, but I just miss training with her. I miss being on the mats with her. So yeah, my mom.
Excellent. Excellent.
I still have a dream of training with the man who was both my father's instructor and a student of Ed Parker, and that is Dan Inosanto.
Excellent. 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 I like it. All right. So then the final question here is something something motivational, whether it be something that motivates you to train, or something that you want to put out there to motivate others to train. What would that be?
There's a old expression: someone with an idea or a theory is always at the mercy of someone with an experience. And it's so easy sometimes for us to talk and imagine, but there's nothing like actually doing. And so as we challenge each other individually and collectively to dream and explore, we don't just want to read about it. We don't just want to watch a video of it. We want to do it. We want to experience it. And so just as it's a challenge for us, I say to listeners, let's stop talking about it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And what we do is very serious, you know, and I said that before about being a black belt. That was a very serious moment, and we should take serious ownership of our skill set and our knowledge and how we react in public, and make sure that we're in control of our triggers so that we don't accidentally, you know, exhibit excessive force in a situation that doesn't require it. And so many people, right? We, myself included, I've been guilty of like getting on there and just like not smiling, not making a mistake, you know, like putting content out and just like, you know, power and badassery. And it's like, are we having fun though?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, part of the joy of being at the dojo when I was teaching, you know, at Green Street was, yeah, we're teaching the serious material, but there was this slapstick, silly camaraderie on the mats between the instructors, you know, this humor that, and this community and this family. And it's like, so when you guys see, you know, me and Brandon and we're out there again, you know, in our street clothes, or you see me and him working on something and we stumble and we're laughing. I mean, like that's okay too, because the art has a wicked sense of humor and a beautiful way of bringing people together to celebrate that as well. So
Yeah.
don't be afraid to make some mistakes and to show us how you train, you know, because it's the younger belts and all the belts need to see that there are times you don't stick the landing, you know, and that's okay.
Right.
It's how you fall, right? That enables you to not fall. So there you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When you
exactly.
see those videos, we're inviting you into a piece of our ongoing conversation.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
That's so true. Oh,
Love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Great answers. All right, so we are now at our final piece of business for today, and we kind of touched on it a little bit, but we're now at the official part of it. So that is shameless self promotion. So you can plug anything that you'd like, or if there's anything that we didn't cover today that you want to make sure that you get out there, you now have the floor, and then we will officially close out from there, and we will plan for part 2 and 3 and 5 and all that going forward. So take it away.
Excellent. Well, I'll start, and I want to promote someone that I've learned has such a incredible perspective on the martial arts that I've learned from, and invites the question, invites the perspectives, and has always continually growing in a new balance, and has the ability to see the poetic, see the profound in everything, but not at the expense of the applicable or the practical. And so I want to promote my wife, Brittnay Searles. Start a conversation with her, share something of your aspect, and especially not limited to, but especially women to woman, and the pursuit of potential, and experiencing the martial arts through that lens, just as men experience it through that. I'm not making this in any way a gender thing, just simply a common understanding. And yeah, you absolutely tap into a gold mine if you do. I dare you.
Huh. Well, that was a surprise. I thought you were going to say our sauces, but thank you. That's yeah, and wow, that's such an honor. You know, I mean, it's not. I was very business focused there for a minute, but I would encourage the same of people to reach out to you. You know, I mean, we have both been doing this since we were preteens. You know, you have a lifetime of experience in martial arts under you, and very balanced perspective, and a very open heart, and excellent conversationalist, and very kind and respectful. So yeah, I think that they should talk to you too. Talk to us. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Let's
I love
talk
it.
about
Great.
forms and kata.
I like it. I like it. I like it. All right. Well, we are going to go ahead and close out our time for today. I can't even put into words how excited I am to have both of you on this on your individual episodes. It was a huge pleasure and honor to get to speak with you. So getting you two together on one episode is it's right off the charts. Amazing greatness, martial arts greatness, and we covered a lot of ground. We got our cooking segment, we got a relationship segment, we got we got our kempo and karate segments. So we're just we'll see what other areas we can get into on our next episode, but. Once again, just huge thank yous to both of you for being on. I know we had some challenges getting this all together, but I think it worked out. Thinking about the previous times that we had scheduled, we would not have had enough time to get into all this greatness. So I'm glad that it worked out the way that it did, and I'm super excited to get this together, and I can't wait for the listeners to hear it. So once again, just huge thank you, and we will definitely do this again real soon.
Thank you so much, Reggie. It's been great to just have the conversation with you and getting to know you, and thank you for your flexibility with us sometimes on the scheduling things.
We
honestly.
are parents.
We take your time is valuable, and we really appreciate it.
And thanks for being curious and asking the questions, and doing your podcast, you know, because that's what the world needs. Yep. And that's our dog.
Not a problem. Yep. My dog is. It wouldn't be an episode if my dog didn't chime in, and so that's always something I get to do is go through and edit her out. So that's fun. But yeah, it's all good. So thank you, and we'll chat real soon.
Sounds good, Reggie. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
Thank you for listening to My Empty Hands.
If you enjoyed the show, please share it with a friend. If you didn't enjoy it, please share it with an enemy. If you'd like to be a guest, or if you would like to recommend a guest for the show, please email me at podcast@talkingkempo.com. Thank you.